Ram 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 Ram. Once Narada visited Valmiki and his hermitage, and they were discussing about so many things. Then Valmiki asked a question to Narada. And what is that? About a single perfect individual bestowed with all good qualities, prowess, righteousness, gratitude, truthfulness, and firmness in his vows. Narada's reply was, there is only one individual with so many good qualities, that is Rama. So, hello children, I am going to say the story of Rama, that is Ramayanam. So this Ramayanam was written by Valmiki originally in Sanskritam. It has 24,000 slokas. In a poetic way, he wrote all these things. Now, afterwards, it was translated to all the Indian languages. Not only in India, in Indonesia, Bali Islands, and there the Ramayanam is famous in foreign countries also. So the Ramayanam is an internationally famous story. Now, let us come to the original story. This Ramayana has got 6 kandams. Balakandam, Ayodhya Kandam, Aranya Kandam, Kishkinda Kandam, Sundara Kandam, and finally Yuddha Kandam. Now, ancient days, there was a Rajya called, a country called Kosala Rajya. And Ikshwaku, King Ikshwaku was ruling that country. He built a capital city, that is Ayodhya, near on the banks of Tamasa river. From then onwards, the Ayodhya was the capital of Kosala Raja for all ancient kings. Then in that Surya Vamsha came, that after Ikshwaku, so many kings came. Dilipa, his son Raghu, Raghu's son Aja, and Aja's son was Dasharatha. The Raghu was also very famous king. He performed a Sarva Dakshina Yagam. In that Yagam, he sacrificed everything for charity except the clothes he was wearing. So he became very famous, and that's why Rama is also called Raghuvamshaja, Raghunatha, Raghurama, and all that. So because of that Raghu's fame. Now coming to the main story, Dasharatha. Dasharatha was ruling Kosala Rajya and as the capital of Ayodhya. He had 3 queens, Kausalya, Kaikeyi, and Sumitra. And children, I know you must have known this Ramayana. Most of the children will be knowing Ramayana, but still we will hear again and again because it is a very beautiful story. We will never get bored by hearing this Ramayana. So please listen and don't use your chat box. Listen to the story so that you can answer the questions at last. I will be asking some questions, and in the quiz competition also, there are so many questions asked from Ramayana. So please listen carefully. Don't distract from that. It is a request, my dear children. Now, Dasharatha has got 3 queens, I said, and he ruled the country very well, and all the people were very happy and contented in his country. And but Dasharatha was having a problem because he did not have children for so many years. He is becoming old, so he was sad about it. So one day he asked his Kulaguru Vasishta, what can we do? I am not getting sons, what can I do? So he advised to perform Putra Kameshti Yagam. Please note the names which I am telling, because it will be, you will have to answer in the when the quiz is going on. So if you don't know the name, you can write down also. That is Putra Kameshti Agam. It was performed by a great sage, that is Rishyashringa. The yajna was performed, and finally all Devata got very pleased with the Dasharatha and with the Yagam, and Agni Devata, the god of fire, appeared and gave him a golden pot of payasam. Look at the screen. Agni Devata is giving a pot to King Dasharatha and his 3 queens. This is payasam in that. I know all your tongues are getting watered by hearing the payasam. No, all of you like payasam, no? So you tell your mother to make payasam on the final day of Ramayana. when the Pattabhishekam, after the Pattabhishekam, you can do Nevidyam Payasam to Rama and we all can eat. Okay? You tell your mother. That will be last day. That I will tell you when it is going to be. Now, Agni Devata told Dasharatha, give this payasam to your all the three queens, they will get sons. Then accordingly, Dasharatha gives this payasam to Kausalya and Kaikeyi 50-50. And they gave from their share 50-50 to Sumitra. So Sumitra is getting 2 shares. Then finally, after certain time, the queens get conceived and they are getting 4 sons. That is, see, look at the beautiful babies in the screen. So nice, no? So Rama was the eldest, born to Kausalya. Bharata next to Kaikeyi, and Lakshmana and Shatrughna were born to Sumitra. They were twins because of the double share of payasam. Okay. So, but normally the twins will be always together. But here, Lakshmana will be always with Rama and Shatrughna will be always with Bharata. They will sleep together, they will eat together, they will play together. Always they will be together. So like that, they were having all the children. Dasharatha was very happy about the 4 sons. All the citizens of Ayodhya also were very happy. They performed a lot of, they are with pomp and show to celebrate the birth of the 4 princes. And then what happened? It is said that Lord Mahavishnu himself has taken avatara as Sri Rama just because of the request of Devatas. Devatas all requested Mahavishnu that so many demons are giving them trouble. So Mahavishnu came down as Rama avatara, and Lakshmana was the avatara of the Adishesha, where Mahavishnu will be sleeping in the milk ocean. That is Adishesha, and Bharata and Shatrughna are his Shankam and Chakra. It is said like that. Now, after that, after a certain time, they are becoming slightly older. When they become 7 years old, they were sent to Gurukulam. See, you were all sent to school by 3 years or 4 years, no? But ancient days, when they become 7 years, they were sent to Gurukulam to learn Vidyabhyasam. See, in Gurukulam, they have to stay for years. They cannot come back every day for lunch and all that. They will be staying there, doing seva to Guru and Guru Patni, and learn all the Vidyas. According to the Dharma, the Guru will teach them. See, because they are Kshatriyas, so they were taught, initially they were taught Veda, Upanishad and all that. After that, all war, how to fight a war, how to shoot an arrow, how to fight sword fighting, horse riding, elephant riding, so many things which are required for a king to do his royal duties. So they all learned. It was very nice to within a short span of time, they learned everything. And after that, they are coming back to Ayodhya. By the time, they're coming back to the palace. By the time they have become 16 years old, very handsome princess they have become. So one day, Dasharatha was thinking what to do with these children. They are becoming older. Now I have to search for brides. I have to get them married. He was thinking like that and sitting one day. At that time, Vishwamitra came. Sage Vishwamitra came to the palace. And Dasharatha gave him a lot of respect. He welcomed him. He gave him, he did Pada Puja and all that. And all hospitality was done. And then Dasharatha asked Vishwamitra, Maharshi, what can I do for you? Whatever is your wish, I will fulfill. I am very blessed to have you in my palace. So Vishwamitra was very pleased. So he said, I am doing some yajna in my hermitage, but 2 Rakshasas, that is Maricha and Subahu, they are coming and disturbing me every day. They will throw blood, flesh and all that. So every day it is getting disturbed. Again, I have to start the next day. So I want Rama to be sent with me so that Rama can kill those Rakshasas. I can complete the yajnas. Dasharatha was shocked. Rama was so young, 16-year-old boy. How can I send that Rama to kill a Rakshasa? So he said, Maharshi, please excuse me. I will send my entire army to kill the Rakshasas, but not Rama. I cannot live without even a single day without Rama, he said. Then Vishwamitra got angry. But initially you told whatever is my wish, you will fulfill, and you are going back with from your word. And now Vasishtha intervened. Vasishtha said to Dasharatha, O king, you can send Rama to with Vishwamitra, it will be a good thing for you. Vishwamitra is a great sage, so don't worry. Then Dasharatha sent all the 4 sons, no, Rama and Lakshmana with Vishwamitra. So Vishwamitra took both, because Lakshmana will be always following Rama, no? So see, look at the picture, so nicely, they are so young boys, they are going to kill the Rakshasas. Okay, now Vishwamitra took them, but it is very difficult for them to walk long journey because they had a luxurious life in the palace, no? But Vishwamitra taught them 2 mantras, that is Bala and Adibala. By chanting these 2 mantras every day, they overcame all the difficulties, hunger, thirst, and whatever it is. So they enjoyed the long journey with Vishwamitra. So after walking for so many days, one day they are entering into a thick forest. By the time they enter the forest, they are hearing a big roar sound. What is this? Sri Rama was looking at Vishwamitra. So Vishwamitra told, this is a demoness called Tataka. She is roaring. She will not allow anybody to go through her area. If we go, she will kill them and eat them. So you please kill that Rakshasi. But Sri Rama was initially little hesitant, because no, as per Kshatriya Dharma, to kill a lady is not correct, because she is Abala. Then Vishwamitra says, she is not Abala, she has got lot of strength, she is a Rakshasi, she is troubling everybody, she is killing and eating, so you please go shoot her. So straight away Rama shot and Tataka fell dead. So Vishwamitra was very happy about it, and he taught he gave him more weapons and taught them how to use and all that. Again walking, and finally they reached Vishwamitra's heritage. Then all the rishis were, that day they took rest, because after a long time they are walking, no? They took rest. Next day morning, all the rishis were ready to perform the yajna, and Rama and Lakshmana stood guard with their bow and arrow, both the sides, and looking all around, anybody is disturbing. So the yajna went on well, and the final day, when Rama looked up, this Maricha and Subahu were on the sky, and they were pouring blood and flesh on the yajna kunda. Immediately Rama sent lot of arrows, which the arrows were so powerful that Maricha was drawn away from that hundreds of kilometers. He flew and fell in the sea, and Subahu became a ball of fire and fell dead. So both of them had gone. So the yajna was completed peacefully, and Vishwamitra was very happy about it. And then what happened next day? Next day, Vishwamitra took Rama and Lakshmana to Mithila. He wanted to see the Swayamvara of Sita. So on the way they were going, there was a beautiful ashramam, that is with lot of fruit trees, flowers and animals, peacock and all that. At that time, Rama asked Vishwamitra, whose ashram is this? So beautiful, but nobody is staying here. Then Vishwamitra told, this is the of Gautama Muni and Ahalya, but they were living here, but due to some misunderstanding, Gautama cursed her to become a stone and gave her Shapamosham. After realizing the mistake, he gave her Shapamosham, that when in Treta Yuga, when Rama comes and keeps his foot on you, you will get the original life. Like that, he gave Shapamosham and he went to Himalayas. So Ahalya is lying here as a stone waiting for you. So Vishwamitra told Rama to just touch the stone with your foot. And Rama gently touched, and immediately, and Ahalya came. Ahalya was a very beautiful lady, no? She came out and prostrated under Rama and sang lot of stutis and for making her, giving her moksha. And then she went and joined Gautama. Now again they are keep on going to Mithila. Now in Mithila was ruled by Janaka, King Janaka. He is a Rajarishi. He is a great Jnani. So he was ruling the country very well without any problem, and everything he will do to Samarpana Buddhi with Ishvara, and he was ruling. So, but he also had no children. So what he said, one day he was plowing the field for making a Yagashala to conduct a yaga, just like Dasharatha, so that he will get some children. But while plowing, that when the plow goes through the field, one line will be formed. You must have seen the tractors going, and you can see that lines formed like that. When the plow was going on, one line was formed. On the line, there was a beautiful baby girl he found. That line is called in Sanskritam Sita. So Janaka named her as Sita because he got it from the line. And that was a gift from Bhumi Devi. So Sita is called as so Bhumija and Kshitija also. There are more names. Janaki, Vaidehi, so many names for Sita. So he happily took, without conducting yaga itself, he got the baby girl. He happily took the girl to his palace and made her as his daughter. So she grew up. When she became a marriageable age, now Janaka wanted to conduct her Swayamvara. For Swayamvaram, he wanted to give her to a best of the best in the world king, so that who is very strong in all respects. So he declared one condition. Janaka has got a big Danush, Shiva Danush, big Shaiva Chapa. It is huge, very huge. Only 5,000 people are required to lift it. So he said, whosoever is able to lift this chapa, Shaiva Chapa, and string it, only that person can marry Sita, he declared. So the Swayamvaram was declared on a particular day, and one day before, Rama and Lakshmana arrived at the Mithila, and Vishwamitra, Janaka welcomed Vishwamitra and asked who are they, and they are Dasaratha's prince and all that. Then they were given lot of good food and good accommodation and all. They have stayed. And while scrolling, in the evening, Rama and Lakshmana were strolling, going through the city to see the beauty. Suddenly, he saw up and he saw Sita on the palace. Sita was staying in the palace, in her palace, and Rama was going round. Just to see. In Kambaramana, it is beautifully given. Annalum nokinal, avalum nokinal, tol kanden, tole kanden. Like that, Kamba is doing that. Very beautifully he is given in the Ramayana. So both of them were looking each other. Actually, it is a reunion, because Sita is an incarnation of Mahalakshmi. So Mahavishnu and Mahalakshmi are meeting each other. By looking at each other itself, the reunion happens. And then next day is the Swayamvaram. So many kings have arrived from different parts of country. All are coming. And the big Shaiva Chapam is kept on the Sabha. And so one by one, everybody is coming. All the kings were very nicely dressed up and all that, with jewelry, with nice clothes and all that, because somehow they want to get Sita as his bride, So, but nobody could lift the Shiva Danush. And this king of Lanka, Ravana, he also has come to try this one. He is very proud that he has once, long before, he has lifted the Kailasa mountain, and he got a lot of weapons from Shiva. So he is a true Shiva Bhakta, Ravana. So he was very proud. When I can lift the Kailasa mountain, what is this Chapam? This is very easy. It is like an insect for me. Like that, he was with great pride he came, and with little finger he tried to lift it up. How is it possible? And he gave all the 5 fingers, then no. And both the hands, then no. Then he took long breath and lifted. Suddenly, what happened? He fell back. All were laughing at him. Humiliated, he went back. And finally, Rama came. The beautiful, handsome prince came. 16-year-old. All were laughing before he comes. So strong kings could not lift the bow. And how this boy is going to do this? Like that, they were thinking. And Rama just looked at Vishwamitra, and can I lift the bow? And Vishwamitra said, yes, you can do. You do whatever possible by you. There is a very nice quote from the Adhyatma Ramayana, just 2 lines. Rama is asking Vishwamitra, Villidukamo, Kulachidamo, Valikamo, Chullugan Adu Ketu, Chullinan Vishwamitran, Yellama Magunadu, Cheidalum Madikenda, Kalyanam Idumulam Vannu Kudidumallo. This is in Malayalam. Vishwamitra says, whatever you can do, you do. It will be Mangalam Bhavadu, he said. So he first bowed to Vishwamitra, and then he bowed to the bow, and he just touched the bow and put his hands on his eyes, and he took it the bow without any problem, just with no effort at all, very great ease. He could lift it and stringed it in one end, and he took the rope to string the other end. By the time, da-dam, huge noise, thunderous noise, because the bow broke into two pieces. So everybody was frightened. The kings were frightened. The poet king said, beautiful comparison here. The kings were frightened like serpents. When serpents hear the thunderous sound, no, they will get frightened. But at the same time, when the peacock hears the thunderous sound, the peacock will dance with joy because rain is going to come. So this is a beautiful comparison. This also in Adhyatma Ramayana, 2 lines I would like to quote. ഇടിവെട്ടിടും വണ്ണം വിൽമുറിഞ്ഞൊച്ച കേട്ടു നടുങ്ങി രാജാക്കന്മാർ ഉരകങ്ങളെ പോലെ മൈഥിലി മയിൽ പേട പോലെ സന്തോഷം പൂണ്ടാൾ കൗതുകമുണ്ടായി വന്നു ചേതസി കൗശികനും. So when the thunderous sound, hearing the sound, the kings became frightened like serpents, and Sita becomes joyful just like a peacock hearing the thunderous sound. So the Swayamvara was, the marriage was fixed, and as per the Vishwamitra's instructions, invitations was messengers were sent to Ayodhya. So because Dasharatha and the queens all have to come, no? Everybody came, the important ministers also came. And by the way, this Sita has got 3 cousin sisters, Janaka's brothers' daughters. They were Urmila, Mandavi, and Shutakit. So Urmila was to be married to Lakshmana, Mandavi to Bharata, and Shutakit to Shatrugna. So all the 4 princes are getting married in the same pandal, all the 4 with all the 4 sisters. So the marriage was performed with huge, great joy and pomp and show. Everybody was very happy. So the marriage was performed. So now just I would like to sing a small 2 lines composed by Saint Tyagaraja. Pavan Jasudhi Patra Pavan Charitra Ravi Somavara Netra Ramaniya Gatra Sita Kalyana Vaibhogame Rama Kalyana Vaibhogame Parameshanut Gita Bhavajaladhi Puta Tarani Kula Sujada Tyagarajanuta Sita Kalyana Vaibhogame Rama Kalyana Vaibhogame. Actually, Rama and Sita are no divine couples. They are very, she was a devout wife, Sita, who was always stood by her husband. She was extremely beautiful, and Sita and Rama are considered an ideal couple. So in all our, in our culture, in the marriage, during marriage, this song is being sung so that they would like to stay like Rama and Sita. Everybody wants that. Then after the marriage was conducted, and Janaka gives lot of wealth, lot of elephants, horses, chariots, and all that, and they all go back to lot of jewelry, fine clothing to all the 4 girls and 4 brides and bridegrooms. They all went back to Ayodhya. On the way, what happened? In the middle of the way, in the road, one Muni was standing. He was Parashurama with his axe on his shoulder. He asked, just stop, just reply to me. I heard that you are Rama and you broke the Shaiva Chapa. There can be 2. No, I am Parashurama. There cannot be 2 Ramas. Only one can be there. So I have got a Vaishnava Chapam. You just take this and show to me whether you can string it. Then I will agree that you are Rama. Then Dasharatha was very frightened. He comes and board to Parashurama. Please spare my son. He is very young. He has not done anything wrong to you and all that. But Parashurama doesn't listen. Rama, I said, do what I said. Then Rama comes down and he goes to Parashurama and take the Vaishnava Chapam and strings it. When he hold the Vaishnava Chapam, his face Tejas become more and more Tejasvi. Rama has become Tejasvi because he is the incarnation of Mahavishnu and Vaishnava Chapam, and it is very easy for him to string it. So Parashurama understood by seeing his face, he understood he is none other than Mahavishnu. So he bowed to Sri Rama and went off. And they all came to Ayodhya finally, and they all, Ayodhya citizens were very happy. All the four brothers are getting married and they are coming back. Both the couples are coming back. So they were all very happy to receive them. Ayodhya was decorated very well. Everybody enjoyed, and then they stayed there happily in Ayodhya. Here this Balakandam is completing. Now we are proceeding to Ayodhya Kanda. After some days, what happened? So Dasharatha becoming old, no? So he thought one day, I will make Rama the king because I am becoming old. I am not able to do the royal duties. So he consults Vasishta. So Vasishta said, yes, go ahead. He is the eldest son. You can make him king. All the citizens, everybody, ministers, all are fond of Rama, no? So nobody has say no to this. Everybody agreed. So the next day was a very auspicious day. So next day, the coronation ceremony was fixed. By the way, in this time, no, this Bharata and Satrughna had gone to their uncle's house. Because you all will go to your grandparents' house during vacation, no? Just like that, Bharata and Satrughna go to KK Rajya. KK Rajya is his uncle. Kaikeyi is brother. So they were staying there. They were not in Ayodhya in this time. Now the Rama's coronation was fixed, and so all arrangements were being done. And Kausalya, Kaikeyi, Sumitra, everybody was very happy. All the citizens were very happy. Because Kaikeyi is the most happiest person because she loved Rama so much, the more than her own son Bharata. So all arrangements were being done by Dasharatha, and now Kaikeyi is happily sitting to meet Dasharatha. But the time when Manthara is Kaikeyi's maid servant. She comes to Kaikeyi and she poisons her mind. Kaikeyi says, see, tomorrow Rama is going to get coronation. He is going to become king. I am very happy. You take this. She gives a costly necklace to Manthara. She throws the necklace to, you are a fool. You are not, you are happy. You don't want to be, you have to be unhappy by hearing the news. Because Kaikeyi says, why are you telling Manthara like this? It is not perfect. Rama is my dearest son. No, Manthara says, no, he is not your son. Bharata is your son. And if Rama becomes king, Kausalya will treat you like a slave. So don't agree for this. Slowly telling, she poisoned her mind completely, and Kaikeyi succumbs to that. And how can I stop this? I will tell you the trick. Long before, you had 2 boons from Dasharatha that she remembered Kaikeyi to ask for those boons, and the king has to agree because he had given you promise. Because long before, no, Dasharatha went for a war with he used to go to Devaloka to help Devas with fighting Asuras. So once he took Kaikeyi also in his chariot. So while fighting the war, wheel, no, in the middle of the wheel, there will be a big nail. That nail got lost and fell down. So Kaikeyi put her finger on that wheel, and till the fight was over, she was keeping the chariot rigid. So after finishing the fight, Dasharatha turned and saw Kaikeyi's how her hands were full of oozing blood. So he understood what had happened. So he said, my dear Kaikeyi, you helped me a lot. You are the savior of me. So whatever you want, you ask. I will give you 2 boons. So that boons, Manthara made her to ask Kaikeyi, remember. So Kaikeyi said, okay, I will ask. So she thrown all of her fine jewelry and nice dress and all, and she just wore one black dress and sat on a corner, all hair split around and crying like that. So Dasharatha, after finishing all his royal duties, he came to Kaikeyi's palace to tell the correct good news. Kaikeyi will be happy, very happy, he thought. But while seeing Kaikeyi, what happened, Kaikeyi? Why are you doing like this? I wanted to tell you a good news. Rama is going to become a king tomorrow. Kaikeyi said, it is not a good news for me. Bharata is my son. Rama is not my son, and all that. Kaikeyi, what are you telling this? You ask me anything, I will give you. Please don't tell all these words like this and all that. Then Kaikeyi said, you have given me 2 boons long before. I want that now, right now. Oh, yes, I will give you. Don't worry. Whatever you ask, I will give you, he says. Then the first one is Bharata should be crowned as a king. Okay. And what is the next one? Rama should be sent to forest for 14 years. Dasharatha got shocked. Kaikeyi, don't tell like this. I will make Bharata as the king, but Rama, please don't send Rama. Don't tell me to send Rama to forest, because I cannot live with Rama even a single day. He pleads her again and again, but Kaikeyi is very stubborn. Then Dasharatha falls down unconscious, and whole night he was, sometimes he will get conscious, again unconscious. He will keep on crying Rama, 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 like that. Whole night went off. The next day morning, people come to wake up Dasharatha. And then I think it is time, it is getting time, Amma. Should I stop?
No, Lakshmi Garu, you have good 8-9 minutes.
Yeah. Okay. So after that, people come to wake up Dasharatha, no? At that time, they all will sing nice songs, music and all that. But Kaikeyi came out, just stop this nonsense. I want only that minister Sumatra to come inside. And Sumatra came, and he see Rama, Dasharatha was lying on the floor. What happened? Then Kaikeyi said, you go and bring Rama right now. Then Rama comes down, and seeing his father lying on the floor, he puts him on his lap and wipes his face and all that. Father, what do you want? Why are you so sad? Whatever you want, I will do it for you. But Dasharatha could not utter a word. He was keep on crying Rama, Rama, Rama. Then Kaikeyi said, Rama, I will tell you, king has given me 2 boons. First one is Bharata to be crowned, and second one is you have to go to forest. Rama was very happy. Oh, mother, I am very happy. Bharata is my dearest brother. If he becomes king, I will be the most happiest person. And going to forest is not at all a problem. I like to go. I will be free with these royal duties. I am very happy. I will go definitely. Telling this, telling Dasharatha also, Father, you don't worry. I will keep the promise. I will stand with you. I will do it for you. 14 years. Then Dasharatha was crying only. He could not speak anything. Then he straight away goes to Kausalya's palace and telling what all happened. Kausalya also became very angry. How can this father tell you this thing? If father is telling you to go to forest, I am your mother. I am telling you not to go. He is ordering. Then Rama explains, sir, this our father has given a word, given a promise. This all Ikshvaku kings are standing for the truth. They are very famous to stand for the truth. So I, as a son, eldest son, I have to stand by him. I have to keep his promise and understand, makes Kausalya understand, and Kausalya calms down. And then you please take care of father. And then he next goes to Sita. Sita is also telling, I will also come with you. I cannot stay without you. But you take care of father and all. Kausalya is there to take care of father. My mother will take care of father. I will take care of you, because wife's duties take care of husband only. So I will come. So he says, no, the forest should be very lot of wild animals. You will not get good food. This luxurious life you cannot live. I don't want anything except you. I am with you always. She thinks, okay. Then Sita also coming. Now by the time Lakshmana shouting and coming, running, Rama, what, this king has become mad or what? I'll put him in jail and I'll make you king and all that. He will shouting. Then Rama pacifies him also. Don't get angry to our father. Our father is helpless. He has given promised 2 boons to Kaikeyi mother. We have to stand by that. Okay, then Lakshmana also goes, and all the 3 were going to Vana. All the 3. Then Dasharatha orders Sumatra to take them in a chariot. So all the 3 are going by chariot. Now, whole Ayodhya, citizens of Ayodhya were very shocked to hear the news. What? Yesterday he told Rama will be king, and today the king is sending Rama to forest. What is this? This king has become mad or what? Like that, they were keep on talking all these things. Then all the citizens going behind the chariot. Everybody is going. the chariot went on, went, and finally reached the bank of Tamsa River. They took rest. By the time it became night, so all took rest, and the citizens were very tired by walking, no? So they all fell asleep, and then Rama said, Sumantra, come on, take us now, because the citizens will not allow us. So we please take us to to near the Ganga River. So they going near the almost near the Ganga River. There, that Guha is standing. Guha is the king of the hunters. So he is there. He offers Rama, please come to my country. I will give you everything. Please don't go to forest and all that. But Rama says, no, I am bound by the promise of Rama, promise of my father. So Guha is a very big devotee of Rama. So he does Pada Puja. You can see the screen, no? He's doing Pada Puja and he is giving all fruits and nuts to eat. And then Rama says, please let us cross, make us cross the Ganga River. So in the Ganga River, in the boat, Guha takes all the three to other side of the Ganga River, and they goes and lands in the Ganga near the Bharadwaja Ashram. And Bharadwaja Ashram, they stayed one night, and Bharadwaja Maharshi says, there is a place where can I stay peacefully? Rama asks. So there is a place, Chitrakutam. You can stay there, and Lakshmana makes a Parnakutiram, small hut with branches of leaves and branches of trees and all, and they are staying there. Rama and Sita will sleep at night in the ashram. Lakshmana will stand outside guarding. Lakshmana will never sleep, always guarding his brother. Now in Ayodhya, what happened? Sumantra came back and told Dasharatha everything, and Dasharatha was very, very sad, and he told, please take me to Kausalya's chamber. So he went to Kausalya's chamber, and he is telling Kausalya, I am very unlucky. Now I remember about one curse I got. In the young days, he was a very good archer, you know. He can kill any animal by hearing the sound itself, even at night. That much archery power he has got. So he then once he went for hunting at night, and some sound he is hearing, and he thinks that elephant is drinking water. So he just sends one arrow. That arrow is called Shabdapati. Wherever the sound is there, that will go and hit that person. So it hit that person. Suddenly he he hears a cry of a boy, young boy. Oh, who has done this? Like this, he was crying for his life. Then he went running and saw a small young boy was hit by the arrow, and he said, what did you do like this? Why did you do this to me? My old parents are waiting. They are blind. They are waiting for water. I came to take water for them. So please bring them here. So Dasharatha again and again apologized, and he went to the Muni and Munipatni. They said, what did you do and all that? And afterwards they came to this, and while he did all the funeral also, he told him to do that all the last rites for the boy, and that fire, no, that Muni and wife, both of them jumps into the fire. So before jumping, that Muni cursing Dasharatha, see, because my son, I have lost my son, so I am dying without my son. Putra Shokam, I am undergoing. So the same Putra Shokam you will also undergo. At the time of death, no sons will be with you. That was a curse. So Dasharatha says, Kausalya, this is a curse. For I got it. So I will not be living anymore. And by saying that, he collapses and he passes away. So all citizens were very sad. Rama has gone to Vanam, and Dasharatha also passed. King, there is no king in the country. What is this very bad luck our country we are undergoing? And that immediately messengers were sent to bring Bharata and Shatrughna. They came back and knew everything from everybody, and Bharata was very angry with his mother Kaikeyi. What did you do? I will never rule this country when my eldest brother Rama is there. I am so fond of him. I am ashamed to say that you are my mother, and all that he is speaking. And then he does all final rites for his father. And then Vasishta says, now you have to become the king. Then Bharata says, no, I will not become the king. I will go and bring Rama. I will go to Chitrakutam. I will bring Rama. And he goes, and everybody follows, all the citizens, all the three mothers, Shatrughna, everybody follows him. All are going to Chitrakuta and ask Rama, please come back, Rama. I cannot rule the country. You are the king. You only have to. He's pleading. See, you get the picture. Bharata is sitting there and asking. But when Bharata and the whole army was coming, no, Guha was little frightened. Why this Bharata is coming with whole army? Is he coming to attack Rama or what? Like this, he was thinking. But when he came near and Bharata told what will happen, I am going to bring back Rama. Then Guha pacifying, and he takes all the army to cross them over the Ganga river. Now Bharata is asking, and Rama says, no, it is the promise. I have given the promise. I have to stand by my father's promise, that truth, Satyam. So please go back and I will come after 14 years. Then Bharata takes his paduka. Paduka means sandals. Sandals, his paduka, and keeps the paduka on his head. I will not enter Ayodhya till you come back, he says. And this paduka only are going to rule the Ayodhya. I will put them in the Simhasana and I will rule on behalf of this paduka. Like that, he goes back and there. And then I think this concept is also going to.
Om Lakshmi Garu, I think it's
Yes.
over. No?
Yes, Amma, yes.
We
Now
can
this
stop here.
Ayodhya, Ayodhya concept is also over.
Yeah.
Let's just, Amma, that Subhashitam, should I say, or after?
Can we do it in the next session?
Next session, okay. So children, I hope you must have listened to the story. Now there are 2 questions for you and you have to answer it in WhatsApp only, okay. First question I am reading. Why does Vishwamitra take Rama and Lakshmana to the forest? And what all happened during their long journey and after reaching the hermitage? Answer within 5 sentences. Please send it through the WhatsApp. And next question. Why was Dasharatha compelled to agree with Kaikeyi, who wanted Bharata to be crowned as the king and Rama to be sent to forest for 14 years? Answer within 5 sentences. So these 2 questions you can answer. Okay, thank you very much. I hope all of you have enjoyed the Ramayanam story. Again, I will come back day after tomorrow to continue the story. Hari Om, Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.
Shall we end with the shlokas, Lakshmi Garu?
Which sloka, Amma?
Om Asatoma.
Asatoma. Okay. I thought yeah. Om Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियैर्वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावात् करोमि यद्यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.
Okay, thank you. Okay, now, very nice, we all heard this beautiful Ramayanam, it is the backbone of our Bharatiya Samskriti, is it not? And Valmiki Maharishi says, as long as there is even one mountain or one river on the face of earth, people will listen to Ramayana all over the world. Yeah. So we are already in this culture, and hence we must listen and chant and talk about the Ramayana again and again. So very nice. We finished 2 kandas today, and I hope you paid attention to all the details. The quiz will cover all these incidents and the names. Okay. All right. So it's almost 1 p.m. and we have done the Arati. But today, being Sunaina's birthday, I thought of asking Maitri to chant this beautiful birthday song in Sanskritam for Sunaina. If she is there, wonderful. Okay, so you can start, Maitri.
Janmadinamidam Ai Priya Sakhe जन्मदिनमिदम् अयि प्रियसखे शन्तनोतु ते सर्वदा मुदम् शन्तनोतु ते सर्वदा मुदम् प्रार्थयामहे भवशतायुषी प्रार्थयामहे भवशतायुषी ईश्वरः सदा त्वां च रक्षतु ईश्वरः सदा त्वां च रक्षतु पुण्यकर्मणा कीर्तिमर्जय पुण्यकर्मणा कीर्तिमर्जय जीवनं तव भवतु सार्थकम् जीवनं तव भवतु सार्थकम् भवतु सार्थकम् भवतु सार्थकम्